Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Okay, welcome everybody for this Farbrengen. We'll have a few public servants announcements. First of all, this Farbrengen is Ulun Shmas Rivka Bas Avram Al Shalom. I see it tomorrow. The Yahrzeit is Chavtes Elul. It's always a very heavy thing. Start of Farbrengen, but I'm sure she very much enjoys seeing you, everything you're doing, accomplishing, and also speaking of Farbrengen, getting people to come together. Achieves a lot. So yeah, we should come to celebrate more simples. We also want to say Refuah Shalema for Rivka Bas Hinda and all the Eretz Yisrael should be healthy and safe, and whatever needs to happen should happen quickly, and we should all be going to Eretz Yisrael very soon. Mashiach. That's what it feels like. We also want to talk about the prizes for the SAI program. But today we're getting, or whoever's got the prize, is getting a besamim thing. Yeah. Nice and smelly. We're going to read the names, and I guess everyone will figure out how to get them. So we want to give shout out to the people that completed both weeks and earned the prize. Start off with Adina, Esther Malka, Fruma, Michal Miller, Esther Citron, Ariella, Shalby, Hannah Simcha, and Michal. Mazel tov to all your hard work to get to this point, and continue going and get more of these prizes. Okay. L'chaim to everyone that should have. Things are falling behind them. It's a good way to start the Farbrengen. You don't have to loosen it up. We already said a bracha. L'chaim to everybody. One of the things we learned, one of the first sikhs we learned about Elul, the Rebbe says that we should be inscribed in the Sefer Tzadikim. Everyone remembers. So mitzvah Hashem by all of us, we should. L'chaim. Also, I didn't forget, happy birthday. When was it? Like 2 days ago, no?
Yeah, yesterday, but Chav
Chav Zayin, I must have Chav Zayin. Chav Zayin Kislev. A few months away. Should have an amazing year. Should be the best year ever. I wanted to start by saying something I heard. Send the video. I want to talk about it in a chance, but I'll say it now. So there's an idea that I don't know where it comes from, but someone shared the video, and the guy that said the video, he said the person that told him about it is not into schools at all. He's very unbelieving in that sense, but this one worked. And basically, it's an Indian to say the whole Tehillim by your Rosh Hashana night twice. Yeah, so listen, so he started telling all these stories. There's a guy that wasn't married for 20 years or something, he didn't have any kids, and he told about it, and he said, Tehillim, Rosh Hashana is the day to see Tehillim, why not? I'll do it. And he did it, and he had a kid, like within that year. And there's another story that there's all these shir they talked to him about, and there's all these bachrim that weren't married yet, and he said there was like 30 of them weren't married, and by Hanukkah, the 29th was engaged.
You're joking.
I'll have to send the video.
Wow.
The guy said, I'm sharing, but like, how can I not share? Okay, he says it works. So I don't know exactly.
What if you can't say it twice?
So that's all I was questioning. That's a lot. one of the things he said one time the guy did it in his meal and he got everyone to do it together. Split it up. So maybe.
The 9 through 2. I've seen that. Yeah. Rosh Hashana, like, put this on twice. Yeah, do it.
So maybe we should do it. I was wondering what it works for. Figure it out. Maybe we should try. God, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I was wondering, what if you say each word twice? Does that work? But yeah, listen, I heard, and they said it worked. I've heard it before. When I was in Shiva, a guy did it. I didn't believe he said it as in final. For me, it takes maybe 3 hours, 4 hours. That'd be 8 hours.
And you still have a
You have to have a sukkah, so you're gonna fall asleep. You can't
By
keep
the
up.
first night or the second?
The first night. See, he said something about the first night also, that in the first night, the malachim are not there or something. So go straight up. It's quite in all these places. Anyway. So yeah, so there's an Indian to say hello. Malzav, for your prize.
Oh yeah, you get this.
Yeah. I can give you.
Oh my gosh, I actually knew the one. For real.
Actually.
Oh shoot. Like, huh? I've done it.
Okay. So yeah, Rosh Hashana. How's everyone feel about Rosh Hashana coming?
I'm so excited.
Mixed feelings. Feeling. What are you feeling?
Confused.
Explain.
I don't want to believe.
I want you to say l'chaim.
I don't know. I feel like I'm ready for something new.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Like a new change, like the trauma of the year to end, and just like new beginnings. Like this is the year. Like that's it.
Yeah, I'm excited for new energy.
People are excited for new energy, new year. Is it to push away this passion, like what's not gonna happen, let's go, or is it push forward?
Build, we're always building, right? Like we could build on, or whatever, like or whatever we cultivated this past year. But there's also a lot of so much change. I feel like we didn't live through the destruction of the temple. We lived through the Holocaust, but this is like a generation with the closest thing, and it's like horrific. Feels, kind of a biblical scope. So in some way, it's like, oh wow. So I know that there's a precedent for dealing with this, but I don't want it. Like we need to see some resolution.
Yeah. That's a lot. Yeah. It was a heavy year.
Yeah.
The truth is, when I found out about what happened in Israel, in Simchas Torah, I was in Williamsburg.
Oh wow.
And the guy said something, and I didn't believe it. It didn't make sense. And also, he was speaking Yiddish. I didn't fully get everything. Someone told me, like, yeah, this what happened. But there's a lot of people there. I'm like, must be fake. And then I came to 770. And I just kept, like, I was in a little high. And I saw a guy crying. And I was like, why are you crying? Like, I was pretty drunk. I'm like, why are you crying? He's like, what happened? That's what made me, like, it hit me. I was like, this is real. So whatever. That was a very interesting experience. Yeah. So it's been a very, and like Ruth was saying, this is sort of the closest thing that a lot of us have been to, like, experiencing real intense Jewish trauma. Like the biggest massacre since the Holocaust in the day. Yeah. Pretty crazy. And then it's also, I think, like together with that is sort of, I remember in the beginning, like the amount of anti-Semitism, how it burst so quickly. And I remember, like, I was speaking to Michal about it. She was like, "Why you look so chill?" So I said, "I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I saw this. It didn't shock me. I went to public school and people were nice to me, but I saw the anti-Semitism. It wasn't like, but I could tell it wasn't anti-Semitism based off like logic or we just saying wrong. It was simple young kid, but it's like this inbuilt, I don't know what it is, just part of like the fabric of society. People just like hate Jews. And here you see like craziness, like, and now with like the Mossad's like, of course with Hashem's brachas, but like what they managed to do and so precision and still getting complaints. And then it's like the standards, like you managed to do that, but why can't you do that in Gaza? It's like, what are you on from us? Like there's nothing that we can do that's good enough. We're always bad. It's like guilty, and we just need to figure out why.
There's no redemption moment. Like I was kind of anticipating to some point in time where the world is like, oh yeah, that was like hard, so hard, but like no, but like I think thinking about also, our history, they're kind of surrendered the hope that there will be a redemption moment, and that it's just going to be the path into a Shia, like Shia is really not some political, geopolitical.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that.
Because anytime we try to leave, like, what was it that was like trying to leave trying to assimilate? So there's at any point in history, anytime Jewish people tried to assimilate, please, it ended up backfiring in the most horrific way.
Yeah. Have any of you read part of the old book? I think it's called Peace Now. The new book came out. Still in English. It's a must read. You all have to read it. I read it. Like I'm not a big reader generally. It's a topic that I'm interested in. I judge. And like, why is it good? Because it gives you a lot of clarity and moral clarity on how to look at the situation and how to understand the context of things. Like one of the things, something that like we should all know, although this is all part of Rosh Hashana, because this is the year. But you like if you watch regular media, whatever it is, when they talk about anything going in Israel, this is sort of the fallacy. They also talk about it in terms of numbers.
Numbers.
Yeah. How many people? For sure, there's going to be casualties. It's like, and Israel's always going to like. It's sort of funny, but it's like sad. We're always going to lose that game because we always care about our lives and we want to not die. So we'll do whatever we can to protect ourselves. So it's like, look how many people died on their side and our side. That's not how it works. But so the argument, well,
like you gotta also look how many rockets were shot. Like,
yeah, and also so the argument really goes, and this is sort of like in that book he talks about it. You have to like you have to explain to people and also to ourselves that it's really people that want to live as people want you to die. And that's also like a lot of time they talk, and it used to be very often like a two-state solution type of idea. And the Rebbe was very against it. And you read the book, it really explains it very well why it doesn't. And it doesn't work for the very simple reason because they don't want another state. That's the problem. You're trying to give them something they're not looking for. It's like a kid wants, whatever, bad marginal. A kid wants chocolate and you offer him an apple. Don't take the apple. He doesn't want the apple. But apple is good. In your world, in our society, living peacefully is good. They're not looking for that. That's sort of the problem. They're looking for your destruction. And that's sort of the whole issue what happened in Gaza. Gaza was a place that the Israelis left. I remember this. Like it was a whole big issue. It divided the country. Why? Because they got soldiers from the Israeli army to take Yidden out of Gaza. And the whole purpose of it was to give them an opportunity to have their own place. Yeah, because that's the argument. They don't have their own place. Give them a place, it'll be fine. But it doesn't work. We have to understand that. But like someone argues, more people are dying. It's like we wouldn't we wouldn't be here if they didn't take hostages. We wouldn't be here if they didn't try to kill us. Anyway, it's a good book to read, and it's very clear. It's very much I like it. It's very clearly explained, he explained the Rebbe's opinions and how to understand it. And it's important to us to know. Anyway, so this has been a year in that sense for all of us, Rosh Hashanah. So now we're coming to Rosh Hashanah. And I think last year, I think this is an underlying theme. We come and we say, like, Hashem, we say it very well this year in a lot of ways. Hashem, wasn't very good. You didn't do very good. I'm not very happy. I'm not happy. And why do I come to Rosh Hashanah? What do I have to come and ask forgiveness and have this whole like weird situation? Like, I have to ask you forgiveness. I didn't get all these things that I'm expecting. And I'm thinking, and a lot of those are very basic. I want a shidduch, I want to have kids, whatever. I want to have some money. I want to get along with my family. I want to have a relationship with people. I don't want people hating me just for being Jewish. I want people killing us. And it's not working. What happened? Did anyone feel that way? No? Anyone want to add to it? So then the question is, if we come to it, like, how do we come to Rosh Hashanah? Meaning, so what's Rosh Hashanah all about? So this sort of enlightens us. Rosh Hashanah is about two things. We talked about this in the past. And we learned this all? Dude, we learned this last week. I don't know. We did. About Rosh Hashanah? Yeah, 2 levels. So there's 2 levels. There's one coronating Hashem as king, and the other one is Tshuva. And what comes first? Yeah, coronating Hashem as king comes first. Why? But yeah, that's the meaning. Tshuva, asking for forgiveness, truly has to come from a person that you care about.
Also a place of recognition.
Well, yeah, explain. What do you mean?
But I recently read the Tanya, like how, like, it starts with like recognizing even a Jew hasn't even grown up Jewish or not lived Jewish. He has that like essence of recognition, and therefore it's like chokmah and bina, like wisdom and understanding, etc. Maybe I'm not explaining it so maybe you understand.
I think I understand. It reminds me of a story that there was I think Paltiel's brother. His brother. He was in California in an army base, and he went to put on tefillin. It was like some event happening, and he called him to speak as like a chaplain, I think. And he went to put on tefillin, and one of the people in the base that was Jewish. So this general, like a 5-star general or something, a black guy, he comes and he's like, "Oh, what are you guys doing?" So he says to him, "I'm putting on tefillin, this is the thing." And this black guy goes, I have Jewish blood in me as well. So he's like, "What?" So he says, like, my great-great-grandmother was Jewish. He's like, "On which side?" "On my mother's side." He goes, "Wow." He's like, "You're Jewish." So we should do a Jewish thing. He's like, "Well, what is a Jewish thing? Let's put on tefillin." And he's like, no, my suit, like the army suit is pressed. I can't wrinkle it. I can't do it. So his wife, she goes, "When the rabbi tells you to do something, you do it." He's a 5-star general, and his wife told him. So he did. He put on tefillin. So this is what happened. He put on tefillin, and he starts crying. The guy didn't know he was Jewish. Like, he didn't know anything about tefillin. He starts crying. So I've heard 2 versions of the story. One of the versions is he's like, take someone. Like, "What did you do to me? What is this voodoo stuff?" But what is it? It's like you were saying, it's the neshama. We all have it. And his just like came out. But otherwise it doesn't make any sense. Like, why would he be crying? He doesn't even know what it is. There's no logic to crying. What happened? He did a mitzvah, and his neshama was like sparked. Yeah. So Rosh Hashanah comes, And we said in that sikha, first we have to, the main focus of Rosh Hashanah really is Khan Hashem as king. In simple terms, has anyone ever said sorry to someone? Like, I'm not talking about like I'm sorry, like the real.
Not like those Facebook status, but everyone posts like,
Like a real sorry, anyone?
yeah.
Of course.
Now, so why did you guys do it?
You generally feel regret. Yeah.
Guilt.
Was the focus about ourselves or about the person?
It could be both.
So explain.
Maybe you want it off the conscience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feeling
You want it
like
off your conscience, realize there's someone.
right.
Maybe it starts off yourself, like guilt and like beating you up.
Yeah, so we're saying, this is very good. I'm like, it's interesting. We're saying that there's two types of tshuva, two types of saying sorry. One of them is our guilty conscience, and the other one is because of the person. Which one is?
Relationship. No, not necessarily. No. But you would
Let us speak it out. Let's speak it out. Yeah.
Say sorry to everyone.
Define care. Like I could cut if I'm driving, I could cut somebody off, and because I have my own prerogative, what I need to do, where I need to go, and I could make that person feel very upset, very bad, and they also have their priorities. Maybe they have a kid in the backseat, and I like scare them.
But
Like,
why would you
they-
feel guilty?
Because I hurt them. Like I don't have to have that recognition or that fundamental idea of, oh, I care for them on a grander scheme. I can recognize the harm that I've done to somebody else and separate that from my belief of how I feel about human.
Or another example is like I'm saying that I don't know if anyone else relates. Like I don't want to be that type of person. Whether or not, even if the other person doesn't care, it's like I don't like that something that I did.
And still gonna cut people off.
Say that again.
It's reflection.
It's only wrong. Yeah, well, I'm saying like, I don't know.
It's like, oh my
I'm
God,
not
see
even an
what I
animal,
want.
like, saying like,
Usually that's like, I see it as like, they're valuable, human being is valued, then
So you're saying that we say sorry because we value the person?
well, even if we don't, let's say love them, but we can be positive.
I could have done something and hurt you, and you didn't think a second to think about it because it didn't matter to you. Meanwhile, this whole time, it's been eating me. It's the only thing I thought about for like weeks. Now I apologize to you. It's off my
Still
conscience,
waiting.
and I feel great. You haven't even thought about it.
As Sheikhtav calls it, rent-free space.
Yeah, straight up.
So you're one second. So you're saying something different than her. She's saying you.
Oh, for sure, I'm saying something.
You're saying you say sorry for yourself. You're saying sorry for yourself, and she's saying sorry. You say sorry because you because there's a person. Yeah, that what you're saying? You're saying because there's someone there. It's not. You're thinking about the person more. No. And you're saying you think about yourself.
It's opposite, it's right. Person and value. That's right.
Sometimes you help somebody out with something, not because you want to, but because it's going to make you feel good, right? But there's two pros there. They're getting the help and you feel good. So what did you do wrong? Same thing as like You're apologizing for yourself.
That's a little different.
Now you feel better. And
But
you're
that-
like,
but that-
okay, great.
But that case was
Moving
two
on with my
positives.
life.
You do something good for someone for your own benefit, so you benefit, and you did something good. He's saying sorry just because, but that first thing you did was wrong.
We both technically benefited.
If someone didn't pay like usually
Very good. So 1 second. So when we do tshuva, or whatever form we do tshuva, Rosh Hashana, Seshmi tshuva, why are we doing tshuva? Are we doing it because we feel guilty? Are we doing it like, why are we doing it? I'm sure we probably never thought about it. To rectify? Explain?
yeah, like figure out how
You acknowledge, like it's like acknowledging there's something wrong now. How can I do better for the future?
I just want to preface just when I ask questions, I'm not trying to stump. I'm just trying to open it up so we understand more. The best learning we get is through that discussion.
I kind of want to add what you said about acknowledging. That is the first step of Shuvah, is acknowledging for the future. Like I think also like that, like acknowledging to Shuvah is like beneficial for you to like do it, like to, I don't know how to put it, like so that it's for the future. That's what it is. Like that's the first step also to Shuvah, is to acknowledge that it's there. Do that.
I take back that quote. Nothing out of guilt. Because guilt is not good. But be embarrassed, you would want to repair it. And it can come from a place of either like me not doing something great, wanting to fix that, or focusing on Hashem and being, I want to do better for you. Both of those are options, not out of place of guilt.
So I just because also people sitting there like, what's going on? I can't hear anything. So you're saying the best. First, we shouldn't do it out of guilt. And you're saying the best is what would be the best?
The best would be like, think of a relationship in your life that you're just like, I don't know, like I just want to be there for that person more. Or like, oh my goodness, I wasn't there for that person, not out of guilt, but like I love him so much, like I wish I did more for that person. Focusing on them and focusing on the relationship versus feeling like, oh my goodness, I didn't do this. Oh my goodness, I didn't do that. And how bad I am for not doing this. It's that we value the person in the relationship that we're in.
Yeah, so you're saying the best way to do it is valuing the person in the relationship. So to use an example of a husband and wife, the best way to say sorry is showing that you care about the person. It's not about what you did wrong. I'm sorry for what I did. It's not about you as much as the person you did it to.
Like
I'm sorry that I hurt you. Well,
I think we all know people. I'm saying I know for myself, or apologize, whatever. And the biggest thing to do is rather than saying sorry 5 times, is saying it once truthfully, and seeing what you do forward. Because saying sorry more than once, a lot of times the other person's like, you're saying sorry for yourself. Like she was saying, like I'm over it. Like I'm not hurt anymore. Like you feel guilty, and that's not helping me, and like that's making it weird. Like come on, like. I know you care about me. Let's go on. Like, that's fine. Thank you for apologizing. Move on. Like,
Right. I think
I value you.
For that like relationship that you care. Saying sorry, like you're saying, is just like for myself, I want to say sorry, but saying genuinely and acknowledging, like Tamara was saying, figuring out I care so much about this person and I want a relationship with this person. How can I figure out how to make it for you? It's not for me. I'm sorry, and that's the end.
yeah. So when we're saying sorry, or how do we look at our relationship with Hashem, and in terms of the sorry? Do we feel like we have anything to say sorry for? And yeah, do we feel that? And also, do we feel we want to have a relationship? Just no one's allowed to say the truth lines.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we're not talking about the level of your nefesh l'kis in Atzmos. Between ourselves, when we go to shul, after we prepared for Rosh Hashana, or we didn't prepare, or we did cooking, or we did whatever we did, and we got dressed, put on our makeup, and then we come to shul. That person, what do we? Are we wanting? Well,
That's all that matters. They went to shul.
They only went to shul to show everyone their outfit.
They went to shul.
Yeah.
Who cares? They made an effort to still go to shul. They went.
so
to shul.
so it's good. So if you go to shul tomorrow, I assume you're going. So you go to shul tomorrow. Will you tell yourself, "I'm here. I'm good. That's it."
Yeah. Sometimes I go to show my outfit or even see a friend. I don't always go for shul, but like I'm
Okay, but
in
what
shul,
about
so I already
Rosh
get a point.
No, for sure.
I'm going to socialize, obviously.
No. So my question is that what is that what you think Rosh Hashanah is? That what Rosh Hashanah is about? Just I went to shul. I'm good. Like, or is it more?
To each their own.
Yeah, very true.
You showed up to shul, and it's not something that you would even usually do.
For sure.
You're making an effort.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to say is, and again, it's not like a specific. I'm not attacking you, Chas V'Shalom. I'm trying to bring out that we're going to come to shul tomorrow, and what we're trying to do now is to have what to process, so we know what we're doing now. We come there, we read some words that we don't know, trying to keep up to pace with the Chazan, and then you hear some song that sounds good and it feels good, and you hear the shofar, hopefully, and you get pushed around a little bit, 770, and then you're done. But what happened? Like,
I think that it's like you're saying, it's different for everyone. But even if it's different for everyone, there's within yourself there's different. So let's say like preparing during Elul, doing teshuvah and the day book and having all these thought-provoking things about teshuvah, that's like one step of the level. So going to shul and Rosh Hashanah may be the end for some people, let's say one level. Or there's being in shul and like you're saying, the amazing songs that like arouses, like in the neshama, it's like something so spiritual that I've experienced sometimes that it's like, I don't know what it is, but it just feels like, oh my gosh, I have to stop my davening that I'm catching up just to like immerse in this moment that just feels so holy and special. There's different levels of Vaida for everyone on Rosh Hashanah, before, during, and after.
So you're saying there's different levels, and everyone's on that level.
Yeah, it can also be on multiple levels within an hour.
100%.
Yeah. Right. Level.
Very good. You're saying ultimately it's about tshuva, and tshuva means returning or getting closer to the true self, who we are.
Is it ultimately about Shabbat?
Well, return relationship. So what like our
What ultimately we're talking.
Right. No, I got right. I got Shabbat like I guess sometimes when we say Shabbat, it's like about something wrong versus like where it's all stressed. Meaning like
that's the real
right. Meaning I think like after I said that I'm like ending it's also closer. Like envelop both fixing something we did wrong or adding good. Necessarily.
Yeah. So you're saying tshuva is not just about our faults. For sure. There's a story, Manash even said, that he said when Reb Mendel Futafas came to America, or the first year after he left Russia, he was, I think, 1966 or 67, around that time. And he was a famous person. They say he was sort of like the Rebbe's shliach sort of in Russia. He was like a mashpia people, and he was like the guiding light. He was a very special person. He went through a lot in his life. It's not underestimate. Like, he was a very happy person, very successful businessman. But they ever told him to be the mashpia. And so he's like, me, mashpia, like, I'm a businessman. I don't know. I forget, whatever. So they never told him, and he did. Anyway, so the story goes, he came, and I said this, I don't know if everyone remembers, he came it was in 770, and he saw in a Seres Mikshuva, Manas Friedman and in his Chavrusa, maybe a few guys on a bench learning a Maimon. He says, oh, no, so what are you learning? And he looks in the Maimon and talks about doing a Cheshbon HaNefesh, which is, how do you translate a Cheshbon HaNefesh? I don't know. And accounting, thinking about what you're holding, what you need to be doing. So remember, well, an audit of the soul. Yeah, auditing.
Yeah, usually with taxes.
The Hayom Yom Fresh Hayom Yom for from where? Yeah. It says in the Hayom, there's two places also. It says in Hayom Yom on Shabbos Varachim Elul, and it says just like in a business, I want to be successful, make an accounting, the same thing. Also, it ever says in a public letter, Michtav Klal, a public letter in the days of Sukkos, and he says that you make an accounting and you have you write all the mitzvahs and all the. That's what the Rebbe says. So we're just going off tangent a little bit, but it's a beautiful part. The Rebbe says that even though you might look at your accounts, if you sit down, the Rebbe makes it sound like you write down how the year went, what all the mitzvahs you did, and all the things that you shouldn't have done. And he goes, never talking to all the Jewish people. And he says, you might find that one side is a little bit weighing in the wrong way. Never said you shouldn't worry. I mean, that's not the exact language, but he says you shouldn't worry. He goes, because a mitzvah is everlasting, whereas an avera is fleeting. Klippa is not permanent. So Rabbi says every mitzvah that you did has weight, infinite value, and every year you did more mitzvahs, so it keeps on being stronger. Which means, in simple terms, the way you look at yourself, I think this is one of the most important parts of Judaism and Tishrei, is the way you look at yourself is, I'm a person. Do we look at ourselves as we're good people, that we do sometimes bad things? Do we look at ourselves as bad people, sometimes doing good things? Yeah, and so a lot of us will say we're working towards one. That's already a big step. And so what the Rebbe is telling us here in this letter is that we have to recognize that every mitzvah that we did, and it's a lot of things I think about, but every mitzvah that we do, it lasts forever, it stays. So therefore, if you've been around for 15 years, 20 years, however long, you have accumulated money, like not money in mitzvahs. It's like you have like an Acorns account. I don't have an Acorns account. Acorns account? You should all have an Acorns account. It's basically, it's this very simple account that, yeah, it's not a sponsored ad. But you put, basically, it's an automatic system that you decide how much money you want to put aside, and it invests it for you. And you don't know about it, you don't think about it, and every week, every month, whatever it is, and the next thing you'll know, you'll have like full of money just sitting there. It's like, wow. And you still spent whatever you spent. You didn't lose it. You didn't walk around and look, I don't have any money. But that money is being invested. I do it with my kids. And I'm not like, I don't have much money, but with my kids. And money gets put aside. I don't have to do anything about it. It's not like, I don't notice it, but my kids, when I was talking about it, and I showed them, they're all like, oh, I have that much money. We buy a house. It's like, it doesn't pay rent. But it's a start. And the point is, it's constantly adding, and the rate of return for them is 26%. It's huge. It's a lot of money they're getting back. Not so much money in there, but the point is, this is the same thing with our mitzvahs. We have an account of mitzvahs, and that account keeps on growing, growing, growing. Whereas Averis is our bank account that keeps on going out. The mitzvahs account keeps on filling up and keeps bigger and bigger. And we just don't look at it. That's the problem. If you look at it, like, man, I have some money. Whereas your mitzvah account, your Averis account is your bank account, you spend on everything. It keeps on going out. You're like, oh, why don't I have any money? Meaning, we have to look at ourselves that we have all these mitzvahs that I've done throughout my life, and those mitzvahs are there forever. When I go to Shemayim after 120 years, you have this whole like warehouse full of mitzvahs. And that's what the Rabbi says. So look, you have to look at this. You have to realize this. So don't worry. So you can fix what you need to fix, but you're good. You have it. Anyway, it's a little side point. So remember Futafas, he looks at them. He's like, he sees the Maimadilah. He says, no. So how do you do a cheshbon? So they understood that he wanted to say something, and I said, what are we going to tell him? So they kept quiet, and he said, "Is a cheshbon." He goes, on Yom Kippur, you sit there and you think about all that various you did. So they were like, yeah, like nodded in confirmation. And he was like, that's not what you do in Yom Kippur. He said, that is machshav zaris. That's improper thoughts. It's a good way to translate it. That's improper thoughts you have in Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur, machshav zaris. What are you doing? How can you think such a thing? So they were like, okay. So what do we think about? So this is what he said. He said, you think about Hashem, all the good that Hashem has done for you this year, which is a whole Farbrengen in itself. But you think about that, and then you ask yourself, have I given back? Have I equally given back? Because that's what you meant to think about in Yom Kippur. Yeah, that.
This was one of the points at the end of it.
Yeah. So I wanted to try something. You guys want to sing a nigga maybe? I'll leave. Come back. I'm not staying. What are we doing there? We'll put on pause.
Oh,
How do you pull this?
Was it recording?
It was. There we go. Pause. Does anyone have something they want to share? What Hashana means to them? Something they have part, something they like. I guess we'll take it as a no.
I think Rosh Hashanah is something very different for everyone. Like some people, for them, Rosh Hashanah may be going to 770 and getting squished and feeling, the Tishrei in the air. Some people, it's maybe more about going to a smaller show, being able to focus on davening, or like Tanaster was saying, reading some English to understand what you're saying. And I would say for me, it could be a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I think it's way more people than I've seen. You're there like swimming with like people who really.
You saw the tent they put up?
Yeah, they bring in the whole weekend.
The women on. I saw them building. Oh wow. See, Ruta, they put up a tent. Ruta, they put up a tent for the women.
No.
No, she can learn that.
Where? No,
On the balcony. Just walk up the stairs. Yeah, outside. It's more space. For the men, it's more space. That's for sleeping. Carol and Troy is sleeping. Is this sleeping?
Oh, Carol and Troy, yeah. Glad they did something with that.
It's funny. I took a video of it. Went to shower. It's a long past. I thought it wasn't finished, and then as I was looking, I couldn't see properly. I looked at my camera, I turned in, and I realized it's like beds that are being occupied. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I hope they close this up. Like. Yeah, they're sure to take care of it.
But they're also
It's pretty cool.
right here. Gets overwhelming when you're like, where's my plate? And get rid of the whole show.
Yeah, I just want to. I want to say something about Tishrei and Crown Heights that I think is an important reminder. So, something like the truth is that the reason why I'm here today is because I came to Tishrei 1 year, and it really like affected me. What?
We know this. Now we know.
Same thing with Sari.
Same thing with Serene.
There's this lady from Devon that came over to Tishrei. She's so she makes her domain loud.
Uh,
Oh, really? She came this for Tishrei?
She never left.
20 years ago?
20 years ago? Not 20. She wasn't there when I was a kid.
She already with the card. Is that her language then? And it's still her language?
okay, I don't know about these people. Anyway, I'm not her, and she's not my mother. But I grew up in the Lubavitch community. I shouldn't say that, the Lubavitch community in Melbourne. And you grow up in a certain way. Yeah, let me hear it. And like, okay, maybe my home was the atypical Lubavitch home, but like I davened in Lubavitch shul, Lubavitch for many years. I understood it. I went to yeshiva. And then when I came to Parnay, it's a miracle. I don't know if it's time. It's maybe I'll say it later. No, because it answers another question. And I came and I was like, whoa. I remember like the thing that blew me away. Like the first thing that blew me away, and I came, I was walking down Union on the eastern part on Kingston. I saw these hats. I was like, I've never seen so many hats in my life. Whoa. And then like Tishrei, and also in those days, they didn't have tents, they didn't have Rubashkin. People were much simpler. Yeah. Bachim was simple. I was one of those simple Bachim. I lost like 8 pounds or something.
Oh.
And the Bachim that came there, they didn't look like, now in Israel, seems to me, from the years that I've been in, see them coming, they look like they're doing better. Financially, they figured it out a little bit. And those,
offered money to one of them and he refused it.
you refused it?
Why do you offer it?
Help. Yeah. That's so interesting.
Okay.
But like, so when I was there, the Bachim had those Bachim sandals and a towel, and it looked like that's all they had, and their jacket, and like, it totally confused me. Like, why is this guy coming here to learn? Like, they were learning before they came in, and now they're learning again. What's the point? And like, it hit me. Like, man, these people believe in this stuff. Like, this is real. Like, and it really affected me. A lot of things happened that trip affected me. So when you come, Tishrei comes, we live here. You know, I have a friend, I don't know if not everyone's here anyway. I have a friend that he grew up together. He's like, comes from a Spanish background. And he never came to Crown Heights. He told me like a few weeks ago, he goes, I'm coming to New York. I'm coming to see Crown Heights. I'm 70 the oil. And he's like all excited. I'm like, wow, cool. I'm like, when are you coming? And he's like, told me he's coming in March. And I was like, what are you telling me now? Like, you have so much time. But in his head, like he's going to the Kodesh Gadol. You know, he's going to the holy, like this is 770. The Rebbe's sure that where the Rebbe's buried, like it's so much for him. And I think, and it's an important reminder to ourselves that people coming, as much as it might be a little bit annoying, but when you realize why they're here, they're not here because they want to push you. They're here because there's something special here that they don't have for him. And there's some energy they want to tap into and get. And that's why they're coming. And
at the airport, you know, the Israelis say we're here to, like in Hebrew, like we're here to spend time with the Rebbe.
Yeah.
Where are you going? They're like Rabbi Milubavitch. And then like the airport knows.
Oh, yeah, they know?
Like that's it. Like, that's what the Israelis say.
I said 2 weddings and for the holidays and the madness and they show a picture and it's like it makes it like
Yeah.
No.
That's cool.
It's very like
They literally stay
they don't like
the
Missouri
all day.
because they're not gonna
Yeah.
They live there.
I think it's
That also
something
burned
that
me.
I can't
Like, you could be here for this right.
being on the other end. It's like, let's say how we feel to go to Israel and visit the Kaisel. It's like a whole different thing. Like I can't imagine how these people come, and I would only think like obviously the schools they're in or their parents make it such a special big deal that every Israeli person, they want to come for Tishrei. At least once in their life, get the experience and see and be here.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, it's not like, I mean, we've definitely got better with the accommodations, but it's not like hotels.
Yeah, and I think so. Therefore, when you look at it from that perspective, you're a little more forgiving, and you're like, hey, like I should also appreciate. Like my friend, he's till I don't know how many months that is away, like 5-6 months. He's like just thinking about this place, and it's like, what do you like when you think about 770? It's a dysfunctional shul, it's dirty, it's not organized, it's squashy. It's like must come here, but like. So then when you realize that, like, hey, like I should appreciate this place that I have. People spending big money. Imagine how much money was spent just to come here.
Right, they're working,
especially this year.
a lot of people are working in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flights right now are.
And they just sit there and learn.
And to
We're not going to.
Yeah, they just sit there and learn.
The girls
So-
too. For a week. What do you do? You're learning.
Actually, a girl.
You haven't had to like once a day.
Right,
I
right.
still come home. Actually, in my old basement, I had a girl that came from Israel for Tishrei, and she didn't like the basement, and she was gonna leave. I'm like, where are you gonna sleep? She's like, I'm going to 770.
No joke. No joke.
She was Israeli, and I'm like, well, we can call. She's like, no, I'm gonna sleep with. I'm like,
I don't know. Okay, whatever. I don't know about that. But all I'm saying is that like when we look at it that way, so at least for me, and I think for a lot of us, it could help. Like it's not so bad. This week Shabbos, I would daven 7:30 by night. I daven also by day, but by night I was there and it was packed. Normally I can manage to get a seat. Here I couldn't even get really a space, and I could figure it out. And when they started singing Yechid, the guy behind me, he was jumping on my shoulder. He was like using my shoulders to like jump up. And like my nut, so I've already had the ring in my head. So when I came there, I was like, man, this is cool. Like this guy, he's on fire. Like he's like, man, I'm here. Like I got it. I did it. I got here. And I was like, man, I'm so happy that you're here. It's cool. No, and I did it like literally didn't bother me.
Yeah, we need to think like that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying you have to force yourself necessarily, but I'm saying think about it. And it's gonna, the reality is for most of us, we're not gonna live here. I'm one of the lucky ones. People leave, logically, you're probably gonna leave. But you have that experience. You had that experience. I was there, Tishrei. Like when your kids grow up, you can like tell them your stories of Tishrei. It's whatever. It's just some perspective. So I wanted to try something. Never done this before. I also wanted to say something that this is just some aside Farbrengen, but it's important for everyone to realize. This Farbrengen has been happening for 3 years, fourth. I remember in the first one. Let me just see. Yeah. Okay. So the first time we did this, I remember, I don't know how I got involved to do it, but I was like freaking out. And it worked. Baruch Hashem, like I think it started off rough, I remember, but like it ended up working very nicely. And I was like, wow, this is cool. And the reason I say that is because now coming to do it, I feel more comfortable. And something that I'm working on all the time, or I should be working on all the time, is that we've got to push ourselves. We've got to realize we have infinite potential way above and beyond what we understand. And if you told that Bacher that came to 770, that one day be living in Crown Heights, giving us like leading a Farbrengen, there's nothing more outlandish and that. It's like pigs flying. That was the same thing. And I mean in the literal, like, I'm telling you, that's what it was. Like, it's not, I don't know how this came about. All I'm saying is we have to realize we have long potential than we think. That's another side point. What I want to do is, there's a very famous mashal the Baal Shem Tov gives. And it's a meditation to think about. And this will help us, I think, give us a little perspective of how to come into Rosh Hashanah. Answer a few of our questions we had before. And well, one of the questions I think it answers is when we talked about in the beginning that we ask ourselves, what has God done for me lately? Like, this has been a rough year, and he hasn't kept his end of the bargain. I didn't, I didn't get my shidduch, I didn't get my parnasa. Crazy things happen in the world. People that are my friends aren't my friends anymore. And the list goes on. So I think looking at it from this perspective, it's sort of a side point maybe in the mashal, but I think it gives a lot of clarity. So, but what I want to try to do is a little different. I'm going to read it, and a little explanation to give it here. I'm taking this from Sichos in English, from this book. Basically, it's a Maimon Alter Rebbe explaining the idea of Tishrei. Now, the idea of Tishrei, according to the Kavanah of the Baal Shem Tov. But he doesn't talk about the Kavanah of the Baal Shem Tov. He just tells the whole thing. It's very complicated, so I'm not saying you should learn it now. But the mashal that they bring, they explain Baal Shem Tov's mashal. I think it's very beautiful. So I want to do it. I'm going to read it. If you want, think about in the mashal, the prince is us. That's the mashal. So think about yourself, and if you want even more, like, try to visualize it. Close your eyes, it'll be even better. But no pressure. And it's short, so don't worry. So this is the mashal the Baal Shem Tov gives. He tells the story of a young, talented prince. The prince's father, the king, sent him away to explore far-off lands so that he would become wise in the ways of the world and learn life lessons beyond the palace walls. The king gave his son money and servants and sent him on his way. But sadly, the prince squandered all of it on fleeting pleasures. He ended up in a distant land when no one knew of his father, the king. Destitute, the prince set out on an arduous journey back to his homeland. However, by the time he returned, he had forgotten the language of his native land. So when he told people that he was the prince, they mistook him for a homeless person and beat him severely. The prince arrived at the palace gates, but here too the guards ridiculed and beat him when he tried to present himself as the prince. In desperation, the prince cried out. From deep within the palace, the king heard the prince's cry and recognized his lost son's voice. The king rushed to the palace gates, exclaiming, "This is my son!" The king embraced his son lovingly, welcoming him back home. Yeah, everyone understood that. The Baal Shem Tov explains the moral of the story as follows. God sends our souls, his children, out of the palace, from his throne of glory in heaven, down to this lowly physical world and body, symbolized by the faraway lands in the story. He sends us here to acquire treasures and learn lessons unattainable in the heavenly realms. We carry out our divine mission by engaging in embodied Torah study and fulfillment of mitzvahs. Unfortunately, we almost inevitably squander these treasures. The opportunities God gives us by becoming overly attached to our bodies, money, honor, lust, and other distractions and impulses. We begin to suffer physically and in this world, and as a consequence of our poor decisions. At this point of our earthly journey, we yearn to return to God, the King. We've forgotten the language of spiritual intimacy we once shared with him in heavens, and perhaps also experienced at rare moments in our earthly lives. So the shofar is the tool for recognizing how far we have strayed and have squandered our God-given gifts. It gives us voice to our wordless cry to God, asking him to recognize us as his sons and daughters, to have faith in us and bless us with a good year so that we can build the beautiful world he desires. On Rosh Hashanah, we recommit to heeding our Father's voice. The shofar cry awakens God, who then shows his love for us, his only child. He then forgives us on Yom Kippur and embraces us in Sukkot, symbolized by the embrace of the Sukkah of the four walls. Meaning like this, we start off and we have a mission and God's sending us out and you have things that you can accomplish that only can be accomplished in this world, in a shama, in a body. And he gives us all the tools that we need to be able to accomplish it. But what happens? We squander it, and we don't make good decisions. We don't know what the mitzvahs meant to do. We don't know what's daven meant to daven. Whatever. I think we can all safely say we don't always do what we're meant to do. Unfortunately, this is the goals. So what happens? It gets bad, and the situation is bad, and then we cry out to Hashem. We want to come back, like, hey, what happened to me? Rosh Hashanah is coming. Okay, I need to go back, but we don't have the I don't have the way to do it. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know how to speak. We don't know how to communicate that. So we come, we try, but there's no real way. And so the shofar blow is that cry of, but it's not just, it's a cry of realizing, like we're sort of saying, hey, I realize I'm not where I'm meant to be. So I think why it's such an important point, because a lot of time we ask ourselves, what has God done for me lately? First of all, in a relationship, let's say, choose a simple example of a husband and wife. A good relationship, a husband or a wife will never say, what have you done for me lately? That's not a... But even more, when you're honest with yourself, you realize, I need to be putting in more. I'm not doing as much as I could. A healthy relationship, that's what you're always looking at. And that's in a healthy relationship with a husband and wife, you're doing well. And if you're not doing well, so then you're like, well, I have plenty to do. In our relationship with Hashana and Hashem, I think we can safely say, if we're honest with ourselves, Hashem is giving us a lot more than we're giving him. And the sad part about it is we have so much potential. He gave us, he sent us out to do all these good things. And are we doing those good things? Are we living up to the expectations that we have? Like the abilities that we have? Are we doing the mitzvahs we're meant to be doing? And it's a simple one. That it's meaning, and then just we get comfortable in the way that we do things, and that's what it is. And Rosh Hashanah is a time, and blowing the shofar is sort of that awakening, like, hey, I want to come back. One of the things we say in David Hashem, we say, I don't know how many times, we say, one thing I really ask is Shivti bebeis Hashem. I want us in the house of Hashem. Meaning, this is sort of, I think, this encapsulates the whole idea of Rosh Hashanah. And this Marshal of the Baal Shem Tov, what he's saying is, we have to recognize that, like, we're in this relationship with God, and he needs us to do these things. He sent us to acquire stuff, and we're not like necessarily doing so well. We have to say, hey, like, I want to do this. Granting Hashem as King Rosh Hashanah, which is the main aspect, is what we're talking about, is relationship with God. Is realizing I have a relationship with God. God cares for me. So this is the story I wanted to give to explain this idea. And this is how I got for Tishrei, which is really how I came here. I'm sure I said this in the past, but I don't know everyone was there. So anyway, and it's recording, whatever, we'll have to give the recording. So I was in yeshiva, and it's a long story, but end off, I went to yeshiva, which wasn't necessarily where I was expecting to go after school. I wanted to go to the army, whatever, but I ended up going to yeshiva for a year. My thought was for a year, and then it'll be all done. And so as Tishrei was coming closer, in Melbourne, everyone goes to Tishrei. The whole yeshiva packs. I don't know now if it's staying, but I think it is. Everyone leaves. The place is basically closed down. So all the guys are like, and all the shluchim, they're like, hey, we'll see you in Karnaites. I'm like, I'm not Karnaites. To convince some people in my family to get to yeshiva was already a big deal. To ask them to give me money to go to Karnaites, like $1,000, it's not $1,500 20 years ago, more. I'm aging myself. But there's a lot of and it didn't make any sense. But every day they'd be like, when we come Karnaites, to come to my parents' house. One of the shluchim that was there, it was Yankee Klein. His father's Yaman Klein. I ate by Yaman Klein's house. And he was like, yeah, you can't eat in my house, and all these things. And I was like, it's not shaykh. There's no way of it's happening. But at a certain point, I said to myself, if I don't ask, then for sure it's not going to happen. At least I'll ask. So I went to ask, and I said, listen, I know it's not shaykh, but I have to be here to ask. I have to at least say that I tried. But don't worry about it. You don't have to do anything about it. So, I'd like to go. but I know it's not, doesn't make sense. And like, I don't expect anything to come of this, but at least I said something. And that's how I was left. Like, okay, fine. 2 days later, basically around that time was when digital cameras were pretty new. And so we had a digital camera, it was like $1,000 or something. And so, long story short, it went missing. And so at the time, I was the only person at home still. Well, I wasn't sure, but like living in the Dalai at home. And so I got blamed for it. And it was like a whole big kerfuffle. I had to go home. I had to leave in the middle of the day. I went to go figure out where this phone is, where this camera is. I don't know. And it broke me. Like, it was really tough. The whole thing was very tough. And I was like broken. And the end of it, like, finally we found it. And it wasn't my fault. And I remember going up to my room. I was crying. I said, Hashem, I don't understand why you're doing this to me. What did I do wrong? Like, I went to Yeshiva. I thought this was a good thing. That's what I get. Like, treat like this. And I remember then, it was pretty funny, but I remember then I said to myself, I wonder if this is what it is. This is what makes me go. And a few days later, so I'm back to Yeshiva, and everyone was okay. And like, I was like, they saw I wasn't doing so good. I was like, no, whatever, it's fine. 2 days later, I got a call, like, can you come home? Like, no, you get a chance, I want to speak to you. Come home. I said, I feel really bad. What happened? I'm getting a ticket to go. And meaning that whole situation, which was very negative and it was not enjoyable, and I don't wish on anyone, had to happen exactly that way, which is the sikh we learned maybe 2 weeks ago, gam to the table. That even that negative was actually good. And because, and I've told the story many times, and I think about it, it had to happen exactly that way. If I wasn't told off as badly as I was, they wouldn't have felt as bad, and they wouldn't have sent me. And maybe it was not shy. Maybe inside Teva, they didn't have the money. You know, like, I'm not spending this crazy money, especially it's Tishrei. So there's all these Tishrei expenses, and you're spending money, whatever. But it worked, and because of that, I'm here. Like, that whole experience is crazy.
I think you stole it.
What?
I think you stole it.
I don't think I stole it. I think I misplaced it. I lost it. It was gone, and so like, you have it. I said, I don't have it. So where is this? Now we've lost this $1,000 thing. It's like your kids lose $1,000 phone or whatever. And there's no one, like, there's only two of us in the running to do this, and they didn't think it was them, so it must have been me. But so why am I saying this? Is because the very important Tanakh in our lives, that not necessarily we always get to see it, but like, things happen for a reason, and which we hope to see it. Like, in that situation, I saw it relatively quickly. I didn't maybe like understand it till much later, but like, this negative, which was very negative, ended up being the force of changing my whole trajectory in life. When I came back from Tishrei, I'm like, I'm not going to Israel, I'm going to learn more. And now I'm here with a lot of different experiences, but it was very big. And so Stam, when you look at life and things happen to ourselves that negative, I'm not saying that we should ever like tell someone else. I'm not telling anyone to like, hey, you should be happy with bad things happening to you. Everyone has bad things and it's very bad. I'm saying we should try to say to ourselves, Hashem is good and everything he's doing is for the good. Do I all see it? No. It's like the whole story, the whole thing in Israel. Plenty of people died, and it's very sad. But good things have come out of it. Like Hamas is getting destroyed for the first time, and then hopefully they're going to be totally wiped out, which is a good thing. It's sad that it had to happen this way, but one time for L'chaim.
You said you wanted one at the beginning. Now it's getting destroyed again.
Yeah, and also what's happening with Hezbollah in the north. That is an issue. In the beginning of Israel, they've always had issues in the north. My father grew up in the north, and it was bad. And Hezbollah, they're bad people. And what Israel has managed to do is, if it's like, if you don't know what a miracle is, that's exactly a miracle. Just to clarify how miraculous it is, what happened? They managed to get the beepers to sell them beepers, which is crazy. And they managed to do it in a way that every beeper was like, they gave them the good beepers, and that which killed all the other people. So therefore, they said we can't use beepers anymore, so we use the walkie-talkies, which they had also given them walkie-talkies. So then they used the walkie-talkies, and those people died. So then what they do is they had to meet together. So they all came together in one spot, and then they got them all in one spot.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, and you have to think about like all those things to work out exactly that way. It's miraculous. And you know, and like when that beeper thing happened, and Nathaniel said, he goes, "There's more. Look, we have more. Like, don't." I was like, what more than that can you do? And also what they did it on Friday when he was in New York, because they met, because they said, he's in America, he's not gonna do anything. That was part of the whole play. He's gone, and they relaxed, they came together, they got him. And like like you have to understand, now they're going into a war with an army that doesn't have all the leaders. And amidst Hashem, they're not going to be pressured by the West. The biggest mistake the West ever does is always called ceasefire. As the Rebbe says, and this is a beautiful marshal, the Rebbe says, a person going to surgery, they have a cancer, you got rid of the cancer. So you cut the person open to cut out the cancer. And they see some blood, people squeamish, there's blood, you got to stop. We'll patch them up, wait till they get better, and then when they're healthy again, we'll do it again. They're like, you're never going to get anywhere, you're not going to solve the problem. And the ceasefires is what caused us to get the situation where we are. Whereas in the first time you go and you finish the job, the first Lebanon war in 82 was called Shalom HaGalil. The idea was they're having the same issues, rocket fire, and they wanted to finish it off. In 6 days, they basically conquered everything they needed to, and then they called the ceasefire. And then the war stretched out for a long time afterwards. So you should know when you hear ceasefire, it's bad. Ceasefire is bad. If you want less people to die, you want the war to finish quickly. It's done. But that whole situation is miraculous. And the way Israel is doing things now is miraculous. And I think this is open miracles. Anyone wants to see like what's a miracle? This is, I don't know what bigger miracle could be needed in this. Thing. And even more, I think a bigger miracle is that the world still hates us. Like, what else can we do?
And this guy was fighting in the world.
Yeah, I think for me the biggest miracle is that Israel can stand up to all the pressure of the world. Everyone's telling us that we're doing the wrong thing. I'm like, no, I know what's best for me. I know what I need to do.
It's finally coming up with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coming to the world, so now that's like there's that it was before.
Yeah.
Like human, like yeah. Now, yeah, like it's possible. And then.
Yeah, very good.
We started the year bad, and like now we're ending it
Crazy to
bad. Didn't want to say it again, but it's a full circle. We have one more day for it to make up.
Yeah. So just to tie it back in before we get lost again, is that in Rosh Hashana, there's two things happening, and sort of points on the more important part, which is Khan Hashem is king. And there's a lot of depth to it that we're not going to go into now. But like we talked about before, if you want to say sorry, say sorry to some person, someone, like who's that, like a relationship with God. And if we don't have a relationship with God, so it's a perfect day to start. Slow and steady. You don't have to go crazy, but it's just like little things and realizing God's in my life. And this is sort of, that's commensurate with the tshuva. Meaning to say tshuva, like we talked, and this is what everyone said in the beginning, it was very beautiful. That to do tshuva, to ask for forgiveness, that's be someone that you want to, some person there that you feel that I want to forgive for. And there's different levels. One level I don't want to get punished, which is one way of doing it, which I don't know if that's the type of relationship we want to have with God. But there's a deeper level, is that like I care about God and God cares about me. And it takes time to build, and realize that he's there. He wants what's best for me. There's this card I have. This is,
Where do you get it?
I've been trying to get it. It's complicated. So basically, this is a beautiful card. It's called Gates of Trust. I looked on their website. I emailed them. I called them. No one answered me. I got it from Michal. Who got it from Sarah Licht. So I asked her, where'd you get it from? So she's like, my husband got it. So I asked him where he got it from. He said he found it on the table in Shul and he took it for you. So I don't know the end of it. But I'll just read it out loud. It's a beautiful thing. I need to figure out where to get them. Can't read it, glory, but it says like this. And I take it, and I had it on a stage. I like read it every so often. But whatever. You should do it. So it's very simple, but it's what are those things called? Like aphorisms, affirmations, whatever you want to call it. But it's things to think about, and it really will help you. So the first one is God loves me. And everyone, I guess, you can bring about. I think for myself, I have that knocker that God loves me. So just need to be reminded more. Like I don't question that. If you question that, it's fine. This is part of the process. Like I used to also question that. It just takes time. But like, so don't like get caught up with all the details of it. Now, God is with me wherever I happen to be, and He's always ready to help me. God is stronger and smarter than everyone in the world, and He can find solutions to problems that seem impossible to solve. God knows what is best for me, even better than I myself know. Just as God has helped me many times in the past, He will help me again now. Shah B'Tochen, yeah.
I don't know so much about it, but from what
I don't know. Just as God has helped me many times in the past, He'll help me now again now. Nobody can do anything. This is a beautiful one. Nobody can do anything to help or to harm me, other than God, who has total control of everything. So if someone does something, you don't care about them. Not you. It's God. What is He? Why? I don't know. But not you. It really deflates a lot of issues. Why is this person doing to me? You don't think about it. It's not about them. God wants and seeks to do kindness. This is also beautiful. God wants and seeks to do kindness more than the most wonderful and kind-hearted person I can imagine. I don't want to see it. Show and tell. And it's a very good thing to produce, because really, Rosh Hashana, crying Hashem is king, like we said before, we have to have a relationship with God and say, hey, I want you in my life. And then, so once you do that, you're like, hey, yeah, I want you to be king. I want you to be my life. I want to have the relationship with you. But then you got to say, hey, well, if that's the case, what are all those things that you haven't been doing or that you did that you're not meant to do? So then you're like, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry about those things. But if you don't have, like, if God doesn't mean anything to you, so then true doesn't really mean anything. And you could do it, like, meaning true is not, I'm sorry, that's what it says. It says in the Machzor, you're meant to cry, so I'm crying. Yeah, I checked my tick box. Like I'd have the Yom Kippur checklist. I hate it because you become like anal about this checklist. It's like, do I do everything? It's like I used to say on another like checklist, think about God. The checklist is a good thing. Yeah, but the point is we got to not get caught up with all those details and lose the whole purpose why we're doing it. And it's dumb. So when we come to Rosh Hashana, we think about our relationship with God. Hopefully we can think about all the good things that He's done for us. And yeah, and I'm sure if you think, if you sometime on behalf you go into it, you'll see it. And if not, like, people have it a lot worse than us. That's for sure. And we just don't realize it. I'm telling you, you live in America, you have an AC, you have food.
At work, like
Yeah,
some
work.
of us didn't put our phones in it. Other people were telling us about that people in Israel and bomb shelters were sitting here at our desk.
Yeah.
Like,
getting ready for the new year.
Right, that's the thing. Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah.
sorry.
Most of
No,
them are not allowed to gather to make phone.
Well, here?
No,
No, yeah.
Probably also here. There was helicopters flying around today.
Yeah, by the GSM, there are
Yeah.
guards with machine guns.
Yeah.
Why just there? I'm saying.
They're-
why did people tell how about
They're going in front of the large.
There were
Anything visibly.
So
Well,
that-
there were helicopters.
You saw this guy like.
I mean.
Oh, yeah.
I
No.
remember after October 7th, there was like drones flying around.
Yeah,
but
but
like,
like,
but everyone has
now,
threats that
there's
are
helicopters.
coming forward, but not, you know,
A massive attack on October 7th and October 11th.
Causing for things to end here.
October 7th and October 11th by Pakistan from Canada.
Right.
Like 11 miles away.
Basically, around this.
I'm just, what you were saying is, we gotta appreciate the things that we have.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to when the year itself has been really hard. Whether on a communal level or just a personal level, it's hard to think about the positives that have happened around all of that, because the negatives just become this warp of grossness that just sucks you in, and it's hard to see the light.
I like that, very good point.
I also think Jack Lesson by saying, well, at least I'm not this guy, like, you know.
But
not like the opposites that were, right?
But is meaning, is that being fake, or that real? Can we say that honestly, or we're just pretending?
It depends on your intent when you're saying it, right? I mean, like, there was a study done on people who wake up every day and say 3 things in terms of gratitude. And somebody asked me why I say Modeh every day, and I use that as a point. Like, yes, that's what God said, like, you should be doing this every day. But from an emotional perspective, actually prioritizing gratitude, and prioritizing joy, and prioritizing the good in your life does beautiful things to your neshama. It just, to the same effect, it's hard. Like, the reality is, it's hard to lift that up amidst so much darkness.
So let me see if I understand. You're saying that gratitude is a whole thing, is an important thing, but in the way you look at the reality of the world this year, it's still hard.
Two opposites.
Yeah, I mean, there's two realities. There's the reality of gratitude, there's the reality of light and goodness, but there's also the reality of, like, my October 7th experience, my friend died. Like, that is a hard thing to say, like, oh wow, it's been a year that I haven't heard his voice, a year that I haven't seen his face. It's a year. For a parent to have to bury their 26-year-old child, that breaks my heart. And the last thing he did with his life was get on top of ATVs and push people into the right direction. That was the last moment. And to think about that, and then other aspects just of my own personal life have been harder than I anticipated. Certainly not. I didn't go to God last year and say, hey, I want this year to be difficult. I mean, I didn't ask for that. And you talked about that earlier, but then, like, sitting here and thinking about that concept of gratitude, thinking about the small little things, I'm like, oh, there were some really beautiful things that did happen amidst all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, very
you
good.
You can live in two spaces at the same time. It's hard.
And I think it's also very important what you're saying is to not, I don't know, the word whitewash it, like, not cover it over, but be able to, like meaning there's also this healthy sadness or like hardness that we shouldn't push away, but there's also an ability to like so what can we do is live life. Like Barry Solomon, he said, what should we do? So he's a businessman. He's like, we need to make money, invest in Israel. That's what I can do. Like, you know, it's like taking the sad situation and saying, what can I do about it? And I think
Beatles song.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Yeah. So
it could be very similar to what we're talking about Shiva before. That if going through difficult times, there's part of the Shiva process, part of the going through your own process is acknowledging the hardships, acknowledging the hard year, and right what we're saying, like the relationship, acknowledging that there's something wrong. And then the next step is to rectify it or to bring up positive. Like you're saying, we're not whitewashing. It's like it has to be in a gradual order. We can't stay in acknowledging forever. You have to go somewhere. You're saying you have to live your life. So I feel like it's part of the growth process for everyone at their own selves, as whatever hardships everyone went through, like you're saying, on a communal level and a personal level. We all acknowledge it, and everyone has different capabilities, and when they're ready, it's like we have to go to the next step, and then we can look at the positive. Then we can see the goodness, and we can go beyond that. And like you're saying, it's both, but it's at the same time, but it's also at two different times.
yeah, I think what we're all sort of saying is that this has been a very hard year on many levels. That doesn't negate good things that we've had that could be very good, and that we've got to find a like not lose one or the other. Like I remember, I have a friend that it's sort of because of me he went to the army, and he left the day after. And I was like, he moved to America. I was like, you going? And he's like, yeah, I'm going. I'm out of here. But it like wasn't even a question, and he was like, I mean, wife was so happy about it, but he was gone for 6 months. And so then I met her. I'm like, hey, what's going on with him? Like, because he went to the north. He was in the second Lebanon War, actually. So I heard he went to the north, like this. So it wasn't so bad then. He's like, nah, he left. He went down south, and he was in Gaza. And I was like, I remember like watching Berea Ephraim's like updates, and I was just skimming to find the names. Like, it was like a scared friend. Yeah. But I think, like, one of the things, it's a sad reality of life, but a lot of good things have come out of.
It's hard for me to think about, like now as Rosh Hashanah, to think about last Rosh Hashanah, this is what Hashem planned, as everyone's late, as all the people who went through such difficulties, losing loved ones, and going through such terrible things, like, it's like, on one hand it's humbling, on one hand it's like unbearable to an extent. Like when people are davening in Rosh Hashanah, they don't imagine like they're gonna be the one that something happens. I'm not that kind of person. That's not gonna happen to me. But like it's like our faith. And anything can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
Talk about it. It's scary.
It is scary.
One of the things also very important to understand is that, like, I remember I saw this like scientist, very famous. I don't know his name. He's very famous. And they asked him, like, "What do you believe in God?" And he said, "I can't believe in a God that does let so many bad things happen in the world." And I felt that's such a like a childish answer, meaning like I think it's a story. I think the three like Siddim or Rabbi. One Rabbi said, "If I was Hashem, I would curse all the bad people that hate the Jews and do all these things." Well,
I think it's a story about the elder.
yeah, and other Chassid Rebbe said, if I was Hashem, I'd give brachas to all the elders. If I was Hashem, I'd do exactly what Hashem does, but I know why he does it. But it's a profound idea, meaning, I'll say talk about it in this mind a little bit. Like essentially, us and God, there's nothing more distant in like you use distance between us and God. So when we come and we say, like, I don't like what God did. Now, I'm not saying we can't say it, we feel it, but I'm saying on a deeper level, we have to also recognize that we can't understand anything. It's like a little child. It's like God uses the marshal, a little child that soiled himself and it got caked on. So you have to wipe it, and it hurts, and the baby cries and doesn't want you to do it. So it's the best thing for it. It's like you don't understand these things. You know, the Rabbi used another good example is like another person grew up in like the jungle somewhere, and they come to a gallery in the hospital, and they're doing open heart surgery. He was going to jump in. You have to save the guy. They're killing him. You know, it's really the best thing. But the point is, what I'm saying, the point is we also have to recognize we don't really understand. And even when we do understand, like in my story that all worked out nicely and I'm here today, that's not the real reason. I don't know the real reason. God is way above reason and understanding. You get what I'm saying?
We're just being
I know, just going back to like what Leo was saying, like I very much connected the fact of just even showing up sometimes is like I did my part. Like, you know, like at that moment, like having a lot of I may be upset or by a shock and the next minute be like, nope, I want to say as much to him as I can. Like it's an ebb and flow, and
But it's all healthy. This is you're hitting exactly the point. The point is that it's like they say there's a story that Rabbi Lipska says some guy came to his shul, he sat in the back, he was like, I want to take him to siddur. And he's like he refused to do anything, and at a certain point he got outside screaming. He's like, God, I hate you. And he's like, this guy's the only guy that davened today. Meaning if you say, God, I hate you, I'm just gonna come to shul. That's it. That's exactly what we're talking about. This is it. The guy that says all the tehillim and everything, and he's thinking about something else. That's not it. It's that relationship. That's what I'm talking about. Crying God is king is that I have a relationship with God. Like I mean something to him, he means something to me. Could be that I'm not happy with him, and I have plenty of bad things to tell him. We're good. That's what we're talking about. That's how everyone should be shown. Yeah. It's like the story of the Chassid. The Hashana sent someone to like check how this guy does sluchas or something. So some simple like Kretschmer owner, and he didn't do much. And it came to sluchas or whatever. He was by himself. He didn't have a minion, I think. He opened up this book, he had a big book, and he's like, okay, God, you did this to me, took away my cow. You did this and this and this. And he's like, you owe me. And he goes, I didn't do this. He goes, we'll call it even. He closes up and he's like, okay, done. That was his sluchas. And so that's what about, like, 100%. This is have a relationship with God. Whether we're happy or unhappy with him, it's totally fine. That's the side of it. Yeah. What do you guys think?
I think that's beautiful when I heard that story. Thanks a lot.
Are we meant to forgive Hashem for things?
Are we allowed to forgive Hashem?
Are we meant to forgive Hashem? No, for acting. Maybe. So part of our
Sure, it can be. I think the way I look at it is when I look at the sum totality, and I think also when you get all the meaning, I don't know. I guess for me, I got older and I start to see things differently, and I see more. Life becomes a little bit more fleeting. I think also having kids, it does it. Like today, I was going back from my son's Swedish school. I had an enjoyable day. And then I'm coming back, and Hannah fell. And I've unfortunately had enough times of this happening. I was like, are we going to get stitches? It's hard. It's not when you live like alone or just married, it's just you and your older person that's like predictable. Kids, everything's not predictable. That's what it is. Hannah she had pneumonia. It was crazy. And it's like your life is so difficult. It's so like unpredictable and it's intense. So then when you go home and your daughter goes and nothing happened, you're like, oh, this is good. Life, we made it. We're so happy. Yeah, I shouldn't have to go get stitches. I was like, Shem. So I think as like the way I see it is because like when we realize how much Hashem does for us, and I don't know how we get to that point, but seeing how like when we able to see that, like I don't feel like he needs to say sorry to me. There's a lot of things I would like, but I feel like he does more for me than I do for him. Like in this relationship, I'm doing a bad job. I'm not saying I'm doing that. Whatever. I'm saying there's always plenty more. So, but if you feel, like we said before, be honest. Nothing wrong. He can take it. Don't worry. He has big shoulders. You know what I'm saying? And then the day he forgives us. He embraces us. Yom Kippur we get forgiven. And Sukkot he embraces us. Which is the ultimate. You know, you say sorry, or you both say sorry, and then you get a hug. You hug it in.
Check it out.
Hug it out. Yeah. Chaim, everyone should have a meaningful, enjoyable, meaningful, uplifting Rosh Hashanah. We should, just like we had such negative news as today, we should have such positive news in Rosh Hashanah. Yeah. Stop the recording.